Roll call, please.
Mr. Brooks?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Yep.
Mr. Bryant?
Here.
Mr. Chauncey?
Here.
Ms. Kroll? Here. Mr. DeFrancesco?
Here.
Mr. Johnston? Ms. Tyson Wright? Here. Mr. Valesky?
Here.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Items, recommend approval of the meeting minutes of January 9 and 12.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Questions? Okay, if not, all in favor to approve the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Student representatives from Cambridge Springs, Audrey Bullock.
Hello, my name is Audrey Bullock, and I'm here to update you on what is happening at Cambridge Springs. You might remember from last time that a second grade student, Landon Kernahan, was in the running to win Artist of the Week after being nominated on the Artsonia website. Landon ended up winning the pre-K through third grade category and received a plaque from Artsonia as well as gift certificates for himself and CSES. There was a celebration held for him in the gym. Congratulations to Landon. Several students from CSHS participated in District Chorus in Warren in January. Congratulations to Mariah Peterman, Josh Simpson, Cameron Dubé, DeMarco Green, and Zeke Carson Smith for their outstanding performance. Congratulations to Josh for advancing to Region Chorus, and to Cameron and Zeke who placed as alternates in their sections. As for our winter athletes, congratulations to senior wrestler Gunnar Gage for earning 100 career wins. Our boys and girls basketball teams have had an outstanding season. The girls finished their regular season tonight against fellow PENNCREST rival Sagertown with a hope to enter the playoffs in second place for the region. The boys team on Friday hopes to capture their last regular season win at Cochranton and finish with a perfect region record as well as the third region championship in 4 years. Many CSHS students enjoy traveling to games or attending home games. Did you know that last Friday, the student section at the end of the gym in Sagertown was reopened for the first time in years? Our students love to be involved. This Friday, as a celebration of the Bag 3-Ton Food Drive, our students were given the opportunity to sign up for various activities around the building, from knitting, ping pong, 3-on-3 basketball, and so much more. We hope to share some photos through the Pitchfork and Yearbook Cambridge Speaks, so be sure to check out the cool things happening at our school. Last Friday, PENNCREST business manager Kristen Eckert came to CSHS to speak to our students taking government this year. She was able to educate us on the ins and outs of insurance. This was a great opportunity for government students. And while we are talking about money and finance, CSHS is gearing up for Business Week, where our students will get an amazing opportunity to produce and market a product they design themselves, while learning many aspects of business from the real world, supervised by teachers and community members. The elementary school is raising awareness for Heart Health Month by doing several activities this week. On Monday, an assembly was put on by the special teachers where they educated students on how to be healthy and how much the heart does for our bodies. This week is also a spirit week for them, and they will participate in exercise challenges tomorrow as a reward for donating money to the American Heart Association. They are learning in a fun way that is keeping their brains and bodies active. Lastly, I wish to remind you that there is so much more going on daily in our school, and you don't need to wait until I appear at the board meeting to see what is happening. Remember to follow us on Cambridge Speaks at Spotify and Facebook, which is operated by the amazing staffs of the Pitchfork and Yearbook. I guess I'm a little biased, but be sure to check it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brendan Craig, Sagertown.
Testing, 1, 2. Yeah. Hello, my name is Brennan McWright, and I'm here to update you on the happenings of Sagertown High School. This month, SHS is recognizing the Intermediate Unit Class nominee for PENNCREST. Kylie Beck has been nominated by teachers as the senior deserving of this award. She's the second nomination for SHS this year. Best of luck. Student Council is sponsoring a blood drive on Wednesday, February 22nd. Community Blood Bank will be at the school from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Students must sign up and be at least 16 years old with parental consent to donate. Staff and board members are also welcome to attend and donate. Seniors Brady Greco, Joe Grundy, and Henry Schaefer have all signed their letters of intent to play college sports. Congratulations to them. Good luck to the wrestlers as they travel to Sharon High School this weekend to compete in the 2023 PIAA sectional tournament. The junior high boys basketball team capped off an undefeated 23-0 season with a playoff win over the Eisenhower Knights to be crowned FCVAA region champs. With that win, Coach Ted Little's winning streak has extended to 46 wins. Great work, Panthers. Travis Peters and Lillian Oakes participated in district band last week in Erie, and Peters will attend region chorus next week at Meadville High School. We are proud to have musicians returning to festivals this year. The SHS High Q team took second place in the WQLN Scholastic Scrimmage. They defeated Harbor Creek, Cochranton, and Cathedral Prep before losing it to Mercyhurst Prep in the final round. The team received $2,000 and qualified for the national competition to be held later this spring. SPA held a unity meet last night in the library. 19 students from 5 schools attended the social gathering. And finally, tonight, you are receiving issue 4 of the PENNCREST that has even more Sagertown news. We look forward to updating you next month. In the meantime, you can follow us and read that issue at thepantherpress.com. Thank you and have a nice night.
Thank you. Our class nomination for January was Sadie Thomas from Maplewood High School. She is currently at a basketball game. She's an outstanding student, athlete, and community member. Sadie challenges herself in the classroom, taking many honors and AP level courses and still maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Sadie is the Student Council Lieutenant Governor, National Honor Society member, as well as a member of Chorus. Sadie is always pleasant, friendly, and helpful to her fellow classmates and has especially made an impact on students with disabilities. Athletically, Sadie is a member of the girls volleyball team, varsity football team, and girls basketball team. This year, Sadie was named All-State and All-Region as a member of the state champion volleyball team, as well as all-region special teams for football. Sadie's always looking for ways to help and is focused on others before herself. Maplewood cannot thank Sadie enough for her positive impact she has had on our school. So congratulations to Sadie. We have no registered citizens comments. However, citizens can come forward if they would like to comment on agenda items only at this time. Oh, shoot. I'll come back, Debbie. Come on, you come first. You go first. I apologize. Debbie Miller, PAA representative. I skipped over. I apologize.
That's okay. Good evening, everyone. Once again, I am Debbie Miller, the PENNCREST Area Education Association President. Unless you're new to the board, you may recall that I've spoken at each meeting, encouraging the board to partner with our professional staff and work to spread the word on the good at PENNCREST. I've asked to join forces for the heavy labor of putting our students first in PENNCREST. Since my initial request 3 months ago, I have only had one board member reach out, but I'm here again asking you to join us. I guess the classroom teacher in me is thinking, this isn't working. We need a plan. So here's a simple 2-step plan for your consideration. Step 1. Our association leadership approached Dr. Glasspool, and now we are also asking you to engage with the Labor and Management Committee that was restarted last year. This is a face-to-face, sit-down meeting where successes and difficulties can be freely discussed with the board members and the faculty to problem solve and plan. We are asking you to support and attend these meetings when Dr. Glasspool asks for your involvement. As I've emphasized in the past, we have a much talented and expert staff. Your professional staff is highly educated and incredibly experienced. Why not use their vetted input in your decisions on the board? So therefore, as step 2 of the plan, I have reached out to your Education Committee chairperson and asked them to invite teacher representatives to those meetings. It was said recently at a public meeting that only one teacher has a thought or opinion on what is going on in PENNCREST. That couldn't be further from the truth. I would confidently say that all of your teachers have thoughts and opinions. Therefore, we are offering to collaborate with the Education Committee to share those insights. And who knows, maybe other committees on the board may follow suit and invite our collaboration. As I've said before, we are still here, still asking, still wanting to work with the board to make education in PENNCREST priority number one. Lastly, I would like to remind the board that we are still here, willing to work on a fair contract. We have been working for a settlement for a year and a month, 399 days to be exact, and working without a new contract since June 30th of 2022. We are still here. Will you join us? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody who would like to speak on agenda items has 2 minutes.
Hello. Hi, my name's Carla Brown. I'm a resident of the district. I live in Cambridge Springs. My kids attend Sagertown High School. On the agenda tonight, under new business, you have a social media lawsuit action, that you have an attached engagement letter for the France Law Group to be a party to the social media mass action lawsuit. I guess I had asked today if where the attachment was, and I was told that they're not under public content. And I would like to call your attention to November of 2020 when you joined a similar civil action litigation lawsuit with the Jewel Company. And when you did that, there were numerous items that are still in board docs today that include like a contingent fee agreement, a presentation that this law firm did with the school district, the Pittsburgh Public School District complaint, and in January of 2021, when we needed to have a new law firm and solicitor, the engagement agreement for the Quinn Law Firm was also viewable in board docs and is still viewable to this day. So I don't
public.
Necessarily believe
It's public.
it is public.
They're public documents.
Yes. So I guess I'm curious as to why this document isn't public, and
They're
that I
public.
think that it should be.
They're public. They're on the website under public content.
Right. The one that's on the agenda for tonight, there is an attachment, but it's not under public content. And I think that it should be before you vote on it. We should know.
It's there. I'm looking at it right now.
It wasn't
It's
there.
public.
It wasn't there yesterday, and it wasn't there this morning when on the agenda. Thank you. Thank you. So before you vote on it, I think that the public has a right to see it. And we haven't had a right to see it, so I don't think you should be able to vote on it tonight. Thank you.
Any other comments? Non-registered citizens on agenda items? All right. Education report, item A, recommend approval of the listed travel.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions, discussion?
Louise, you got to talk about
I keep forgetting about the microphone, I'm sorry. Okay, we have a motion and a second. And discussion.
I think this is great for everybody. We've got bands going to district and state chorus, and we've got the journalism group going to a state conference. I think this is great.
it. Use the microphone so everybody can hear you. I think they heard you, or they got the gist.
This is great.
Any further discussion or questions? If not, All in favor, say aye.
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 Item B, recommend approval of the attached 23-24 elementary and secondary programs of study.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions? All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item C, recommend approval of the attached Research Institute for Learning Development quote.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item D, recommend approval of the attached Houghton Mifflin Hardcourt literacy licenses.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item E, recommend approval of the attached Merkey, Pennsylvania Therapeutic Family Care and Foster Care Plus Agreement.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Recommend approving the attached Meadows Psychiatric Center Agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item G, recommend approval of one PENNCREST Cyber Academy graduate from the Mapletown area attendance area.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item H, approve the Modern States resources for the CLEP program in all three high schools at no cost.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Facilities and Transportation Report, recommend approval of the contracted student transportation drivers, item A.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item B, recommend approval of parent-provided transportation agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
C, recommend approval of the repair for the elementary walk-in cooler.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Financial report, item A, recommend approval, accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item B, recommend approval to pay the attached disbursements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item C, recommend approval of donation of the Townville Lions Club to the Maplewood Elementary School in the amount of $250 for boots and snow pants.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions?
Thank you to the Townville Lions Club for donating $250 for snow boots, for snow pants and boots.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Personnel report, I'd like to make a consent agenda for items A through J.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions? Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
New business, policy approval, recommend approval of the three policies, 610 and 26 with the attachment E.
Behalf of the committee, I make that recommendation.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item B is just first reading for policies, no need to vote. Item C is the ARP ESSERS. So I'm recommending the ARP ESSERS Health and Safety Plan. We're required to approve this every 6 months. It hasn't changed for the last 18 months.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Item D is the social media lawsuit. There is no rush on this. I would rather just wait, and we'll let the citizens another 30 days to review it. All right. That takes
Very
us to
good.
new business. Is there any new business the board would like to discuss?
We want to do the National Honor Society quick.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Go ahead,
I
Tim.
tried to stop you there.
Go ahead, you're all right.
You were on condition.
Go ahead.
All right, so for the National Technical Honor Society of PENNCREST inductees 2023, Cambridge Springs, we have Abigail Miller, Culinary Arts and Restaurant Management. Maplewood High School, we have Alex Blake, Capstone Co-op, Drafting and Design. Josiah Stitt, Electrical Occupations, and Kylie Wentz, Capstone Co-op, Drafting and Design. From Sagertown High School, Hunter Craig, Capstone Co-op, Precision Machining. Eddie Hazlett, Culinary Arts and Restaurant Management. Garrett Jordan, Electronics Technology. And Jameson McIntyre, Officer, Computer and Information Sciences. If I botched the name, I apologize, but congratulations to all the students involved. Good job. Okay. Other new business.
Other new business.
Other new business, we talked about the citizens committee, and we are still trying to draw up an actual agenda. This is something we will move forward with, but unfortunately, I don't have all the details just yet. What I would suggest is for the citizens with the PTOs and the boosters, you guys start talking, start coming up with ideas. I think what we're gonna have is an open discussion forum type thing. Not sure when that's gonna be, but it will be soon. We're gonna post that. We're just trying to get all our ducks in a row. We have to make a couple changes on our end. So that's where we're at with that.
Thank you.
Any other new business?
Any questions? Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
I'd asked about getting petitions submitted to the school board.
Would you talk?
I'd asked about getting petitions submitted to the school board at the last work session. I'd asked the chair, if we have a resolution on that.
Well, at this point, I can tell you this is something new that you just brought up, and the board will have to discuss about how to go about it. Because I'm sure the board wants to review the intent of the petition, what's in it, and then we come up with a guidance. Because I never heard of a school board put it on the record, any petition. As far as students, if the students have any grievances, they want to submit a petition for a grievance, we have a policy that they have to go by. So that's no problem as far as the students are concerned. Now, the citizens, they can submit, the board will have to discuss and come up with a procedure to do it.
Okay, I appreciate that answer. I think that it would be beneficial for us to be able to put these petitions. We've had a petition for 5,000 signatures. We had a petition for 1,200 signatures. We had student signatures, and there's currently an alumni petition out there. So I think we can come up with a way to just put this in the minutes. We at least are acknowledging that the citizens' voice is being heard.
Well, definitely, the citizens, the residents of the district will be heard anytime that they need to be heard. But again, like I say, as far as submitting petitions and, the signatures needs to be checked, make sure the residents and the names on the petition are for the residents, but the board will have to decide how to go about it. I'm not the one who's going to decide for the board. The board will have to get together, discuss it, and we come up with either policy or whatever.
All right, so we can do that next meeting, get it figured out?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can do that during the work session, yes.
Thank you.
Any other new business? We had executive session on January 24th, the 13th, and 16th of February for personnel negotiations, litigation, legal concerns. We have registered speakers on non-agenda items. Reagan Whitehair.
Reagan, what hair?
She's coming.
She's coming?
So,
Hello, I'm Reagan Whitehair. I'm a former student at Maplewood High School. I'm currently a sophomore in a cyber charter academy, and I'm a current resident in PENNCREST. I am here to speak because I have suffered from PENNCREST not taking disciplinary actions on bullying issues. I was bullied for about 1.5 years because of my sexuality. I got called slurs, and I got told no one liked me, and also told multiple times to kill myself. I took every single step possible to stop it. I told the people, the bullies, to stop. I talked with teachers, I talked with the school counselor, I talked with the assistant principal and the principal almost every day, and I am just horrified of it happening to other students. And I'm really scared that it won't be taken seriously until it's completely too late for it to be stopped. There have been several students I know who have attempted because they have been bullied. I am one of those students, and it was because I would rather have been dead than be bullied and felt hopeless because I never got any action taken, and I felt completely powerless. I was put in a psychiatric hospital several times, and they still did not take any action. I was told the same thing. I was told I would have to deal with it in the real world, and told that they were doing everything they could. I feel like we're not really worried about what's completely going on and the safety of the students, because we're all supposed to be here to fix the issues in the school and make sure we're successful and focus on the children's safety and success. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you.
Next speaker, Debbie Cagel.
Hi, I'm Debbie Cagle. I'm a resident of PENNCREST. All my kids went to Sagertown schools, have all graduated and become successful adults. My son, Jeffrey, has a master's in theological studies, and his words say it better than I can say, so I'm going to read this to you. To the students in PENNCREST, you all deserve better. I'm a 2003 graduate of Sagertown High School. I was class president, an active participant in student government, a member of the chorus, and a student athlete on the boys volleyball team. I also hold a BA in religious studies and a Master of Theological Studies. As an alumni of PENNCREST, I write to address the decision by the school board to pass Policy 109.2, which removes resources containing sexualized content. On the surface, this policy masquerades as protecting students from exposure to descriptions and images of sex and nudity, but the subtext is all too obvious. Silencing minority voices, particularly those who are LGBTQIA+. This is why I joined a fellow PENNCREST alumni in crafting an open letter to the school board demanding the immediate repeal of Policy 109.2. I have been taught, courtesy of a variety of traditions, both humanistic and religious, to treat all people with loving kindness and compassion. Nevertheless, respect for the life and dignity of all people is not insulation from criticism. In this case, the words and actions of some PENNCREST school board members point to a religious zealotry that would make crusaders and inquisitors blush. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but chest thumping about religious justifications for removing sexualized content so that you might in turn demonize the least of these does not make one spokesperson for the divine. On the contrary, it makes one look more like a false prophet that was warned about in the Gospel of Matthew. I can think of nothing more ridiculous, indeed blasphemous, than treating others who are different and vulnerable with sanctimonious vitriol whilst invoking the name of Christ. And so I say to the students of PENNCREST who have been hurt by this school board, who feel not just disrespected but demonized, that while I do not know you, I am on your side. I love and cherish you for the light you bring to the world. Never stop being you and keep on shining. Written by Jeffrey A. Cagle, Masters of Theological Studies, Sagertown High School, class of 2003. Thank you.
Thanks. Ari Knott.
Good evening. My name is Ari Knott. I'm 16 years old. I'm a junior at Sagertown High School, and I've been in the PENNCREST area my whole life. So, some of you have said you want more students involved, more interested in what you're doing. We're interested, we're involved. Now there are those saying we shouldn't be here. Some of you are passing and agreeing with these policies based on God's law, your words, not mine. I remind you once again, this is a public school district. Bring your religion into somewhere it's allowed and needed. Churches, charities, food drives, donations, private schools. Put your views with something that can benefit it. Don't force it on kids like me who don't follow your religion, other PENNCREST members who don't follow this religion. And actually try to follow the law. Separation of church and state. You are elected officials. You are part of the state. Now, on another note, I want to talk about a legal issue that happened outside of last month's meeting. January 12th at 9:54 p.m., I was mocked by a school board member. And as I speak, I will not state their names as I follow the rules. But they know who they are. I was in the parking lot with my mother and two adults, whose names I will not reveal unless they wish. They pulled up to us and said, "Your speaking skills are very good." And I thanked them with a prompt from my mom as I was tired and already very emotional. They instantly roll into "this policy doesn't do what you think it does," referring to 109.2, launching it into an entire conversation which slowly became unproductive and became more of an argument. We tried to walk away multiple times and they would not leave us alone. I said good night twice as we walked away. They would not stop. And so I raised my voice and said, "Have a good night," to which they responded, mocking me. I started sobbing because I am sick of this, and I told them that, but according to them, I am saying nothing. There's more to the story, but these are just the details I want everyone in this room to know. I was mocked and harassed by one of these people sitting in these chairs. Hear me now, the people of this district, whether they share my views or not. I will work Them and I will work together and we'll make a better district with or without you in it, because I still have a little brother who needs to get through high school. I have cousins when I grow up, kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, and more, so I will not stop fighting for this district until it is safe for everyone, and I will keep going. This is a public school district for everyone and every group. Act like it. Thank you to those in this room who are actually in this for the students. My thanks and my gratitude go to you. Please stay with us. We need you. Thank you for your time.
Final registered speaker, Carla Brown. Carla Brown.
I was going to come up here and talk about something that you took off the agenda, but I'm really not going to dishonor any of these people that spoke before me about any of those things. So have a good night, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you. There is an opportunity for any non-registered speaker to speak today for 2 minutes on any topic.
I'd first just like to point out that...
I just need a name and address.
Oh, sorry. Eli Skelton and Coswago Township.
That'll work.
Okay. I'd first like to point out that I, in the past, have talked about my bullying, and it has been said that that's not happening anymore. That was in the past. But from what you've heard tonight, there's bullying happening from the students and from the board members alike. So you can no longer excuse that that was something in the past. Now, I would like to talk about the good things that happened to me at Cambridge Springs, because there are good things. When I was no longer allowed to go to Coswago after it being shut down, my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Kingsley, brought me in with open arms and made me feel at home. In 5th grade, when I was having undiagnosed seizures and no one believed me, my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. McElhaney, was the first person to believe that I was having seizures and opened her couch to me when the nurse refused to take me in to recover. In 6th grade, when my best friends quit being my friends, my teacher, Mrs. Hovis, opened me with open arms and was a good ear when I didn't have a therapist at the time. In 7th and 8th grade, when I was being bullied for being raped, Mrs. France was the only teacher that I felt I could go to, and she made school bearable when the principals weren't doing anything about it. So I just like to keep it in your mind that there are good things, but there are also bad things. The bad things don't constitute the school being shut down. You need to work around your budget and fix things, because Cambridge does not deserve to be neglected or shut down.
Thanks.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Finish with.
Other speakers?
Hello, my name is Loren Edwards. I am a current student at Sagertown High School. I will point out that I am a junior, so you'll be seeing me again for the next year. As Eli had pointed out, there are also good things at Sagertown as well as Cambridge. We have some very amazing teachers, and I'm not just talking about one. My math teacher, Mrs. Halk, is one of the most nicest, kindest people I've ever met, but she also drives me to do my best in math, even though I absolutely despise math. My teacher, Mrs. Hetrick, pushes me every day to do the best I can in journalism and in English. I am very bad at spelling, but we're working on it. My old history teacher, Mr. Hayes, who now teaches at Cambridge High School, as far as I know, he always made fun of my notes, even though I was the one with the most notes. He was always there trying to give us the most information he could about history, regardless of what the topic was, regardless of any points of view. He always gave all of the sides and let us take what we will. Now, we do have very amazing teachers and very amazing staff in all areas of our building. But of course, there are bad things. Currently, I cannot talk about anything in the school that's going horribly wrong. I feel we have amazing students who love and support our schools and our other schools. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Going once? All right.
Carl Archaki, Cambridge Springs. I just wanted to reiterate what many of us here on Monday or Tuesday night spoke of in terms of the repairs of Cambridge Springs High School, that the list that you all have and did recommend that we'll hope to see on an agenda soon coming up, and when we could expect some of those repairs to begin. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional speaker on non-agenda items? Board member remarks?
Mr. Brown?
All right. Good evening, and thank you for everybody coming. It's nice to see a large crowd here again. To all the new hires tonight, I want to say congratulations if you're out there, and hey, good luck. We've had an interesting few months, but I'm hoping we can start focusing on the education side of things from here on out. Unfortunately, we've had the yearly budget coming up, and that will be top priority for a couple of months. First of the education meetings is March 7th, 2023, with the place is still to be determined. I encourage you to partake in this meeting and learn more about our curriculum and procedures to put new and updated curriculum in place. We also will be looking at our goals over the next several years. If the community shows interest, we can eliminate rumors and you all can ask questions or raise concerns on facts. Also at the curriculum meeting, I encourage teachers to please attend. At least one from each building, two from each building. The more we know, the better. In March, I thought we was going to be further, but we have a lot of questions on our part. But we will begin putting in place a citizen committee at the March meeting, and this is something that can be used as an excellent tool for us and the PENNCREST community. I ask that this committee is about ideas and solutions, and let's become an example for the future board and the future of our district. We are still coming up with an agenda and how to deal with issues. Also, which we're seeing it tonight, which is awesome, but I also would personally like to see more student involvement at the meetings, helping us to see the faces of the future. The students are what I base my decisions on, and I mean all students. It may not make all students happy, but that's life. We're not always going to be happy. Seniors, your time is quickly coming to an end here at PENNCREST. I hope you try to enjoy your last few months, and remember, these are the best days or best times of your life. And I repeat that because Mr. Brado, my 9th grade English teacher, told me that, and I didn't believe him. He was right. To all the teachers and staff for doing what you do, I cannot thank you guys enough. I know that the job is much more demanding today than it was 20 years ago, and we are asking you to do more. And I'm not sure everyone on this stage is aware of the challenges you all face every day. So again, thank you very much. And remember, community involvement is the key to our success because the path we are on isn't. So it's up to all of us to demand better. And remember this, knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations to all our winter sports athletes and good luck heading into the postseason. Right now, Sagertown and Cambridge girls are playing. And starting tomorrow, the individual wrestling tournament starts in Sharon. This is the time of the year where the thrill of victory and agony of defeat both get a little amplified for our students that are playing sports, the academic competitions, the chorus, the band, journalism. For a lot of kids, it's gonna be the last time that they get to step on a wrestling mat, the last time they get to participate in something that they love doing. I was glad when Audrey gave her update that the Panther Pit is back in operation. I'm assuming that the bleacher creatures in Cambridge are getting back up. And personally, I think that the Tiger's Den in Maplewood are the best at being really spirit-filled. I'll call it that. I noticed the PENNCREST, that we've got Michael, who's been here for 3 days on the cover. I've been here for a while, and I've not made the cover. Pitchfork, if you want to be my favorite student-driven organization, this is a cover boy face right here. On another related sports note, Pennsylvania finally has 100 school districts announced that they're going to have a girls wrestling program. By having 100 students commit to this, that means the PIAA will now vote to see if they'll make girls wrestling an official PIAA sport. On May 9th, 2019, PENNCREST was the very first district to formally vote for and approve the creation of a girls wrestling club. It's one of the things I'm very proud that we've accomplished here on this board. Right now, our club's out there competing, winning, and we're ready for the next step for this to finally become an officially sanctioned sport. Regarding the facility and capacity report we talked about, I'm rarely upset with having more information when it's time to make decisions. I'm glad we have more information now so we can make better decisions on how to renovate and remodel Cambridge schools and to serve every school. I'd like to say no decision will be made behind closed doors until we have the committee in place, until we can meet in public to say what's going to happen. I don't believe that the will of the board right now is to close any schools, but I'm glad to have people here, because if you're not here, decisions made in the darkness are not the decisions we want. I think one of the issues, as I see it, is a matter of trust. I don't think the public trusts the school board. We're not at elementary programs or sporting events. We're not approachable to have discussions. We're not building as much trust as we should. We appear shady. We're getting a lot of bad press for things that we're doing out there. Not mentioning any specifics, but the atmosphere of the board is not one of community, but it's secrecy, and that's not good. I'm glad to have people here holding us accountable. Speaking of elephants in the room, some of the policies passed last month seem to have a bigger reach, cost, and consequences than the board had presented. We've had libraries shut down for a week, books taken out of students' hands. The media coverage is painting PENNCREST negatively, and this affects our students, our teachers, our community, our employers, our hospitals, our schools, all of this. We can't draw good people into the community if people think that we are a mess. Some of the policies I had issues with, mostly because they were written poorly. We'd said at the last meeting that someone had said that they were willing to go to court and spend our tax dollars to fight for our local values. And I find that odd for a policy that was just copy and pasted from Philadelphia. I don't think our tax dollars should go to fight a lawsuit for something that was written in Philadelphia or wherever it was written, because it wasn't written here in PENNCREST. I know that we think that we have lawyers, librarians, and teachers on this board, but we're going way too far with this. And I know me pointing this out, it can be seen as me being not civil or being disrespectful, and I'm as sorry as I can be about that, but we can't just keep ignoring the elephants in the middle of the room. If we don't acknowledge we have issues, we're not going to get better. Which will bring me, no, let me add this. Sorry. Seeing the students speak up here and seeing the behavior of some of the boards who misgender people, who say things about some of our students out there, there's bullying going on by board members and in the schools. And if we don't start at the top and act like all students have value and don't take that into account, then we're gonna have our students going to inpatient mental health, cutting themselves, We're gonna have people leaving the area, getting kicked out of their homes, and not feel that this school district is welcome to everybody, and that makes me sick to my stomach. We can do a lot better. We need a school board to focus on the schools, not the school board. The money that we're spending on lawsuits should be spent in the classroom. The administration's time should be implementing policies, not reading books that school board members just thought should be banned because of something said on a website. I'm not gonna say that one. And the school board needs to do a lot better or elect people that will.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback on Jeff. I was sitting out there about a year and a half ago, and I was disgusted, completely disgusted with what was going on. And I was proactive, and I decided to run, and I'm here. So again, to piggyback on Jeff, we have to do a better job as a school board to open up our hearts, our minds, everything about us to you guys. What are you guys feeling? What do you guys need? We need that respectful relationship, like I said Monday, between each other so we can work together and yeah, just be open about the schools and understand the kids. The kids are the most important part of schools. And we need to understand where they're coming from, where the bullying's coming from. This is all serious issues that we can't just waver. I mean, it's just important stuff. So for me, the reason I came to the board is because I want relationships to happen. I don't have a clue about finance and other things going on here. I'm gonna learn and grow as a school board, but I want that relationship with the school board, the kids, and also the teachers and everybody else. It's just so important, and I don't see it. And like Jeff was saying, it's huge. You guys we have to gain your trust at some point, and I'm willing to start right now, tonight, to gain your trust. I'm not a social media guy. You won't see me on social media dramatizing everything. If you want to talk to me, call me, email me. One-on-one conversations I love. If you want to debate, I'm fine with debating too. But like I said, I'm all about relationships. I'm all about trying to get this school board so you guys can trust us again. And then board member to board member, trying to work things out for the betterment of the kids. Again, the kids are the most, it's not about me, it's not about anybody on this board, it's about the kids' safety, their health, and everything else. So for me, that's my agenda from the start. Like I said, I'll get into a committee at some point, I will learn and grow parliamentary rules, but I don't care about that stuff. I care about relationships, and I care about our schools. I care about Cambridge being open with all the other stuff going on. I care about traditions. I love sports. But yeah, it's all about the kids. And like I said, if you need me to talk to me, please grab me after the meeting. I'll stick around for hours to just listen to you. And that's my job. You can criticize me. I'll be here to be criticized. But I just want to develop a relationship with you guys. I'll be the first one to start that. If you guys need anything, please let me know. If something's bothering you, let me know. And please, just call out. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to piggyback off of Mike.
Amber.
It's not on.
Hold on. You want?
I'm sorry. I thought we were going this way.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of Mike too, because I'm also a person that likes one-on-one relationships, and I would encourage anyone to contact me too, and I'm happy to sit around and talk to anybody. But it's also about the kids, like you mentioned, and I want to tell you a little bit of personal stuff here. I have twins that graduated last year, and one of which had her heart set on a school that cost $250,000, which many of you know that's how much many schools, colleges cost these days. And even with a generous scholarship, she was going to incur major debt. I stayed up at night, like my gut wrenching and distraught over this situation. It's like, I didn't want her to get in that much debt. I can only help so much. And this was like her dream school that was going to give her the position that she'd been dreaming about and working hard for years. Like, how can this, and I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want any of you parents to have to go through what we went through last year. And so I met with the Ken Newman, and I met with the principals last week and all the counselors, and I explained the college level examination program, also known as CLEP, and the ways it can save thousands for our teens, and they also were just as excited as I was to implement this life-changing program. They are piloting it immediately as we voted on today. It not only will save thousands, it also builds the confidence of the kids. When you have a teen that takes a CLEP examination and passes it and they go, oh man, I can do a college class. I'll do another one, and I'll do another one. And they're just building those credits. And also, once other districts see that our schools are doing this, it's going to be implemented in all 3 schools, they might take a look at our district and go, wow, their kids are getting their freshman year of college for free because this costs nothing. So it's great. Lastly, and it's a certain improvement. Excuse me, I'm getting this next. I joined this board with a goal of finding ways to make noticeable improvements. And this is certainly an improvement to take notice of. And if there's any questions about this CLEP program, please email me, but even better yet, come to the March 7th meeting where I will describe it a little bit more further. So lastly, I want to congratulate Sadie Thomas for the class nomination. I was hoping she was going to be here today. But to make such an impact as to be nominated for this award out of so many students must make your family and friends very proud of her, as we on the board are. Thank you for engaging in the everyday lives of students in such a positive way. And thank all of you for attending tonight.
So I'm going to be very brief. I too would like to congratulate all the students that we've recognized tonight. And I'm going to take a little bit different tack. I've been kind of sweating. I've been looking at the budget, and I'm looking at the costs that we have in front of us, the indebtedness the district has. And unless we make some changes, I think we see tax increases for the foreseeable future. And I know none of us want that. So citizen involvement would be great as we try to, I think we're going to have to relook the budget aggressively, and we're going to have to try to find some cuts here and there, and no one likes cuts, everybody likes to spend money. But I don't see a way forward unless we really tackle the budget. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to continue raising taxes, which is not what I want to do on the board. So we really solicit your help as we plan for the future and look at the budget.
Wrote out my comments again tonight, so I'm just going to read to you, okay? I'm tired, boss. Mostly I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of all the pain I feel and hear in the world every day. There's too much of it. It's like pieces of glass in my head all the time. It's from The Green Mile, 1999, John Coffey. And frankly, I am tired of this board and some of the members that feel the need that they have to posture. So let's define posturing. In the Oxford Dictionary, it's defined as a behavior that is intended to impress or mislead. So let me explain what I mean. This board has created community drama and nonsense, starting with voting for policy changes against the better judgment of legal counsel. The vote then led to PENNCREST's legal counsel resigning due to disparaging comments made publicly by board members in the January meeting. Comments such as the legal counsel is a joke, it's not even legal counsel, legal opinions are being worthless. I'm gravely concerned about that. It reflects poorly on the character and integrity of this board. No one here, no one on this board here tonight has a degree in law. No one on this board has passed their bar or is licensed to practice law in the great state of Pennsylvania. Policy 109.2 was fine the way it was written prior to the January change. There was a remedy that was in place to handle books that were questionable. Instead of listening to the sound legal counsel, the board voted to approve a policy that had dire impacts on the district, as you've already heard. So let me be clear. I am not wanting smut or explicit sexual scenes in libraries or in our books in our school district. But as a parent, I filled out the forms and I gave them to the superintendent for review. And I communicated some concerns and they were reviewed. But as Mr. Brooks already mentioned, the negative press, the closing of libraries, all of these things happened. And in communications that we've received from the administration, here are some of the books that made it onto the review list, which I'm pretty sure was not the intent of this policy. Here's some, just a highlight. The Holy Bible, Canterbury Tales, 1984, the novel, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Green Mile, which I used in my opening comments. So this is exactly why I voted against the policy changes in January. All of those novels, in my opinions and books, they're fine. They should be in our libraries. But again, as I've mentioned, there was already a remedy in place. Policy 109.1 is in place. Let's use it. So again, I have to implore the board. The members need to disagree in an agreeable manner. My request, they fall on deaf ears. We continue to set a poor example to the community, to our constituents, to our students. And it's just outrageous. It's the outrageous allegations, outrageous comments, and outrageous behaviors. When one decides to serve in a public capacity, it needs to be through the lens of compassionate leadership, servant leadership. I'm not sure that any one of us sitting on this board deserves a community vote at this time. The manner in which some of us speak to each other and to the community, it's simply wrong. I mean, the tone, the lack of civility in our discussions, condescending comments, I don't think that I could ask for your vote with using those behaviors. However, the votes for my seat were tallied, and I'm currently serving in a 4-year term, elected in November of 2021. Several board members have resigned over these horrible behaviors, how they're handling a policy and issues related to this district. These were great board members who simply had enough. Replacements applied and were voted in. None of these replacements were unanimously approved, but that's also a grave concern for me. So since I took office after the elections in 2021, there were 3, and that's a lot. It's certainly a curious issue. And as I mentioned in my comments last month, do remember that 7 seats of this board will be up for re-election next year. Lastly, as a board member, during my comment time, I do want to publicly apologize for the disrespect given to the Quinn Law Firm. They were our solicitor. Hopefully the attorneys at Quinn understand the comments made do not represent all of the school board members' opinions. PENNCREST's prior solicitor had over 40 years of experience in representing multiple school districts. And frankly, that's more time than some board members here tonight have been alive. It is regrettable that Quinn Law Firm was degraded by members that have no legal experience or education. Differing beliefs and opinions cannot validate comments that were made. And as I stated before, we can disagree in an agreeable manner. I also want to recognize the fact that we have incredible teachers. There are 3 board members here that have children enrolled in the district, only 3. Some have had students graduate. I will have to say, I have to give kudos, shout out, attaboy awards, I'm not sure if they're around anymore, to the teachers in our district. And specifically, I'm going to talk about Sagertown High School. And I hope it's okay, but I do have to mention a couple of teachers by name. So on January 25th, I was able to participate in mock interviews at the Sagertown High School. And I will just have to say, I interviewed all day long. So it was from 8 to, I think it was like a couple minutes till 3, that I interviewed juniors and seniors. All of these students were taught by Mrs. Hetrick and Mrs. Mook. Those are the 2 teachers. And I will say, As an HR professional with over 20 years in the HR field, the students at Sagertown by far were the best prepared students that I've interviewed. They dressed professionally, they had resumes, they asked great questions, they were confident in their skills and abilities. And that is amazing, because I've mock interviewed at multiple schools in Erie County and in Crawford County. So Sagertown sets the bar high. So thank you to Mrs. Hetrick, thank you to Mrs. Mook, and even the other teachers that I didn't get to see, because I know that there are others. But definitely, I was in Mrs. Hetrick's classroom and Mrs. Mook's classroom, top-notch students. So I will say I'm going to be conducting mock interviews at Cambridge Springs High School here in March. So the bar is set high. So if you go to Cambridge or you're a teacher at Cambridge, make sure you get there, because I expect the same level that Mrs. Hetrick and Mrs. Mook put forward. Just putting it out there. So a couple shout outs to the Panther Press. I know Brennan was here, giving an update. I do read it. I follow it on Facebook. And I have to say, the topics are great. The articles are great. It keeps things fresh in our minds. And it's amazing. So keep up the good work, all of you doing the Panther Press. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Ashball at Sagertown Elementary. I have a 6th grader. They're currently preparing for a 6th grade musical. That is a lot of work, let me tell you. So the tickets are going to be $5 each. I'm sure it's not out there yet, but I'm just putting it out there. It's going to be on May 12th. So if you're interested, it'll be at the Sagertown High School, and it's the 6th grade musical. It should be pretty good. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear my son practicing. So really keep up the great work. That's what education is about, the extracurricular things that we do. And then shout out to the student sections at our local sporting events. You guys, it's great. I've seen the pictures in the press. I've seen the pictures at the Maplewood pictures and the Cambridge Springs pictures. They do get involved and they have fun. Just keep it clean, do good things. Don't be, after each other. Keep it all in good sportsmanship. There's 2 new school resource officers. I've met a couple of them, the 2 of them. One at Sagertown, I believe the other one's at Maplewood. So it's great to have them on board. This was a discussion that we had several months ago. We have a resource officer at those 2 schools, and please, I was here Monday night. I know Cambridge Springs feels neglected. You're not neglected. You guys have a full-time police force here in your town, so you guys don't have the resource officer. Sagertown and Maplewood do not. That's why they have a resource officer. Just want to make that clear. Shout out to the Cambridge Springs varsity basketball team. They defeated Sagertown, which, sorry, I do like my Sagertown. But great job, Cambridge Springs. It was a 3-point game, so it was really tight. But great talent we have in our district. Cambridge Springs Pitchfork newsletter had a little bit of trouble finding it, but I think Sagertown put it on the Panther Press, and then I did eventually find it on the Facebook page. So I read it. I actually printed it out today. Great articles in there as well. Maplewood, I would encourage you. I love your Facebook page. It's great. You were highlighting some seniors. It's a great job. There's just no newsletter, so I would encourage you maybe. I don't know if anybody's out there that does journalism, but perhaps that might be something to be explored so we can learn more about what's happening at Maplewood, because I know that there are great things happening. I just didn't see the newsletter to read about it like I did for Cambridge and for Sagertown. The last thing I want to say is PENNCREST did post on their Facebook page too about the Northern Regional College. They will be starting college classes that will be held at the Sagertown High School starting in August of 2023. So bouncing off of what Amber Tyson-Wright had mentioned about the courses for high school, this is going to be courses that are available to pretty much anyone. And they're going to be held in the afternoons and evenings. So if you go to the Facebook page, it's on there and you can take a look at that. So those are great things that are happening, and hopefully we can focus on those.
So first I'm going to address, first I'm going to address on policy 109 there. The Bible is not removed from our school libraries. It's in there right now. The administration is doing a very good job at implementing this policy. They've been taking good steps. They're reporting to the board on what's being removed. So that is going well. The next thing is I'd like to welcome Michael to the board. Looking forward to working with you here. And I'd like to thank the Townville Lions Club for the donation to Maplewood for the snow pants and stuff. That's very appreciated. And the last thing I'd like to say is thank you to everyone for showing up for your school and being concerned about it. The school needs updates. I'm not going to deny that at all. We're coming into budget season, as Mr. Bryant had just stated. We need to tackle this budget. We need to work on it. We also need to make sure this school gets put where it needs to be. It deserves updates. So stuff may not be coming right away, but it will receive attention, and you have my word on that. That's everything.
Thank. Mr. Johnston, you got anything to say?
I'm going to offer congratulations to all of our students, both academic and athletic. Very proud of all of them, and wish them continued success through the rest of their school year. That's all I got.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. Well, I guess it's my turn. I just want to address what I think is important to the parents of this district. I've been asked by Cambridge Springs students of journalism, what are my directions as the school board president? My response to the young students was and is to you as follows. Number one, the academic standard of the district regarding the students' education is a priority number one. Number two, the administration and the board are legally local parents of the students. In other words, we are obligated to place ourselves in the students' parents' shoes who want the board to safeguard the children's education and health, physical and mental. Number three, the ultimate goal is to assure that the students will graduate with a solid foundation which will guarantee them a fruitful life and bright future for an American citizen, as an American citizen. My response is of a director, only as a director who happens to hold the office of the president. To achieve the three stated points requires the unity of all 9 directors working together for the future of all students. I am confident that this board will work hard to accomplish this goal. Everyone must realize that the board is faced with tough decisions every budgetary season. The board goal is to assure that the students' education is achieved and at the same time not to overburden the parents with excessive taxation. To equalize the two, it is not easy, but the board will have to find a way to find a solution because the students' education is paramount. As a reminder to all students, education consists of the curriculum approved by the board. Nothing less, nothing more. I urge all residents of PENNCREST School District to give the board a chance to show you its commitment to you for the safety and betterment of your children. We are going through tough times, but Americans have shown to be able to overcome all kinds of calamities and issues. And I can honestly admit that I am proud to be of my fellow Americans. And that's all I have. And I think that's all that's important right now. Thank you very much. All right, we need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.